Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome into today's episode of Forte Catholic. I'm so glad that you guys have found us, whether you are watching on YouTube or listening on podcasts. We are so happy that you are here. Liv and I had a blast recording today's episode. We introduced a new game and had two really good conversations as well. Poddecks is always a favorite for some people. I know that you guys are going to enjoy this episode. So when you do, not if, hit that subscribe button. Wherever you're listening on podcasts, subscribing is the best thing that you can do. Also on YouTube. If you're on one or the other, do us a favor. Why not go on the other one? Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody listens to podcasts. Hit the subscribe button wherever you are watching or listening. That'll just help us grow. And it's free. A free way you can help us. Now, we're going to help you by trying to give you some entertainment and some faith with today's episode. Hope that you guys enjoy it. What's up? Welcome to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Schroll. That is Olivia Newton-John Harrison. Olivia, how are you, my friend?
I am fantastic, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. Your large adult son sent me a DM on Instagram this week, and it was a thing making fun of Olivia, and I loved it so much. He knew that I would get a kick out of it just because I like calling you Olivia.
That is really funny. That is really funny.
It had nothing to do with you, but we both knew exactly why he sent it, and it was wonderful.
And it made you happy.
It really, really did. I'm gonna try to find it right now. This is called show prep that I'm doing right as we get started. It says, the quote did fit better than I remembered. It's a quote from Olivia, who is 3 years old. Here's the quote. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Sometimes my mouth hurts because I talk too much. It's a real thing. Olivia, 3 years old, that Zach Harrison sent to me, and it made my week. It was tremendous.
Maybe my mom made that meme. Maybe my mother's learned how to make memes, and that was actually from me when I was 3.
I doubt that. If it runs in your family, you barely know how to turn your phone on.
No, my parents act like I fell off of a FedEx truck. They're like, we don't understand where you came from. So,
well, yeah, they tried to put you on the FedEx truck and you fell off. They took us an omen that they had to keep you, I guess.
Right. They're like, dang it. Yep, you're right. Those are funny jokes. Getting rid of kids.
We're gonna start today's show off. I mean, we've already started. It started normally. Yeah. We're gonna pivot into something that we haven't done very often. Okay. We did it once recently when John and I started the show by sharing our proposal stories. We both shared that on the show about a month ago. I want to try to keep a trend going because there's a side of me that no one no listeners of this show know. Taylor Schroll has a romantic side. Did you know this?
Yes, I know all the sides. Well, I don't know all the sides of Taylor, but I know. Yes, I knew that. Yes, he's got a bigger heart than he leads on. Sam is a lucky gal. She knows it.
Well, I'm the lucky one in this relationship, but
I was trying to help.
I am more romantic than people would think because I'm kind of like a jerk and rude and silly on this show, which doesn't seem like it would be romantic. It seems like it would be like good to get a date, but not good to get a second date. You know what I mean?
True. So that is true. No, you're much more loving in real life. I tell people all the time because people are very concerned about our relationship. They're like, he's so mean to you. And I'm like, no.
I'm concerned about our relationship.
I'm like, no, Taylor is one of the best friends I've ever had. So I talk you up all the time. You're a good guy. But I won't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody.
You literally just finished saying that you tell people, and then you're like, but I won't tell anyone.
I won't. Taylor,
you're like the people that Jesus healed, that he's like, hey, don't tell anybody. And you're like, I'm going to tell everyone.
Tweet. We know I don't have Twitter.
yeah, for sure. So here's the romantic story, okay?
Okay, let's hear it.
I believe this was before Sam and I got engaged. I'm pretty sure it was like the school year before. So this is
Dating Taylor.
Dating Taylor. Yes.
I like that. That's like, that could be the name of a movie. Dating Taylor.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a TV show or a short or something. Mm-hmm. So there's this song. So here's the deal. Before we get to the song, Sam and I were long distance for 2.5 years while we were dating. We started dating, and 2 months later, she moved to Florida. It wasn't a good omen. It wasn't looking good. But we lasted 2.5 years of
That's
being long
impressive.
distance, over 1,000 miles apart from each other, seeing each other on like breaks and Christmas break, summer break, Thanksgiving every now and then, like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Spring break.
totally.
So, but I was broke and in college, so like I didn't have the money to go see her. So like really the only time I would see her was when she came home because her family flew
Yeah.
her home for holidays or whatever. But I saved up for like, a year and a half, almost 2 years for a plane flight. And there was a
Baby
date.
Taylor, that's so
I
cute.
know, so sweet.
Little baby Taylor. Okay, go
Aw.
ahead. It's so cute.
So there was a dance. I think what kind of like the Sadie Hawkins dance where the girls ask the guys. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they're called, right? Sadie
Yeah.
Hawkins. So it was like
Totally.
that, but for college. So like she asked me to come. And it was funny because she asked me after I'd already planned to come and see her, and I was like planning it with like her lady friends,
how
to coordinate like
funny.
a surprise of me showing up. But I kept
Cute.
telling her no, like no, I can't come. I'm sorry, I'm busy with school and ministry. I don't have any money. Blah blah blah. Like lying to her because I was already gonna come.
This
And
story sounds like a promising relationship starting out in lies.
I mean, if you listen to our proposal story, that was all lies too, and that seemed to work out. So
It's going well so far.
I was cute enough back then where I could lie and still be. It was cute and not conniving. So we planned the trip. Her friends. I keep telling her no, and she's sad, and she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll just go with like my girlfriends or whatever." But they're all getting dates, and she was getting sad. Well, then I showed up, and the plan was for like the lady who ended up becoming her maid of honor, picked me up from the airport and drove me there, and there was this like gym that had a piano in it, or like it was like a big room, like a performance room, right? And it had a big piano in it. So
Okay.
like I learned how to play this song by Matt Maher called "Set Me as a Seal." Have you ever heard this song?
Oh, yes. I had friends that even had it played at their wedding. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Very romantic song.
Very
It's
romantic song.
from the very romantic book of the Bible, Song of Songs. And by
Right.
romantic, I mean getting towards erotic. Like it's
Listen.
it's real.
Yeah, Christian Grey came from somewhere. That's like
Right.
the adult. It's like the biblical version.
It was Jewish Grey because it was the Old Testament.
I see what you did there. It was
Thank
Torah
you.
Grey. Torah Grey. Yeah, I
Torah
like it.
Grey. That's a good name.
I like it. I like it.
Incorrect, but good.
But you knew where I was going for.
Right, for sure. Which is crazy because most of your jokes I don't. Like
We don't
they're
get.
so
Yeah, we don't
bad, I'm not even
understand.
sure what you're trying to do. So here I am
Yeah.
in this room, and the girls like lead her into the room. It's like dark, which like because it was either like all the lights on and it wouldn't be a surprise, or like completely dark. So it was like kind of creepy at first. And they turn the lights on, and there's me playing the piano and singing, set me as a seal on your heart.
It's a
Set
really
me
beautiful
as
song.
a seal on your soul. Strong as death is love is really as great. I sing it better than that, right? I'm just trying to get through it for time here. But I sang that to her. And just like the proposal, she broke down crying and like wouldn't talk to me for a while because that's how she reacts to anything that I do romantic.
That sounds like Sam.
I think she was
She's
really
so
crying because she ended up getting a secret date to the dance and had to cancel. I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh. That was my whole fear this entire time, that then this big, tall, like, Mediterranean guy that was over there studying for a semester, like, I don't know, whatever. I
But
just
here's
had
the
this
thing,
whole vision.
Liv. Back then,
Okay,
I was
that
the
didn't
big
happen.
tall hunk, so
Oh,
she
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have a
got it.
better
I forgot.
option back then.
Right, you were she had to go to plan B. Got it.
Right, exactly. So, so yeah, I sang it to her. It's this beautiful song. I want to look through some of the lyrics. Set me as a seal on your heart. Set me as a seal on your soul. As strong as death is love, unyielding as the grave. Nothing will quench its flame. Kiss me, my love, that's unique. Beyond my lips, you intoxicate my being with the fragrance of your presence. How beautiful you are, my darling. Show me your face. Let me hear your voice. Sweet as the dew in the early morning, like a lily among the thorns. So, like, I mean, it's pretty close to like he's
That's
pretty much
pretty
just
hot.
quoting. Yeah,
Pretty hot.
quoting Song of Songs, but like making it rhyme. Like I mean, it's,
Yeah.
It's all. I looked for you, the one my heart loves. I looked for you and did not find you. Searched through the night till I rested in your sight. Now I will never let you go. Now, Song of Songs is
it's one of those things that can have a double meaning, right? So it is
Right.
like, yeah, this like romantic kind of like, healthy erotic love between like a man and a wife, a husband and a wife, right? But it's also like an allegory for like God loving his people, like how much God loves his bride, the church, how much he loves, like at this time, his people, Israel, right? Um, so like, what do you have you read Song of Psalms? Any thoughts on Song of Songs?
No, yeah, absolutely. Like it's when we were picking out our wedding, like what you were going to read at the wedding. I don't know. What is that called? Like the readings. Hello. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
for the
yes.
love.
What a
I
good
know. I was
Catholic
like,
you are.
there's a word, but yeah, that's it. So I remember kind of going through some and I kept thinking, I was 22 when we got married. I was really young. And I kept thinking, my great grandmother's going to be in the audience. She was 101. So
Right,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know if she knows these things. Like, just kidding. And my grandmother, who has 10 children, she's still alive. She's 97.
Yeah,
And yeah, my parents.
I think she read Song of Songs once
She
or
might have.
twice.
She might have known a couple of tips. She might have been able to add a couple of lines. I don't know. But, I was like, my aunts and uncle, like, it was just, do you know what I mean? I couldn't do it, Taylor. I had read it and I was like, that's just weird. But I was 22. I was annoying. Imagine how much you would have hated me then.
I mean,
So,
you're only double that age and double annoying
not
now.
not even because I identify as a 25-year-old inside. We're allowed to identify as things now. It's 2021, so
No,
it's fine.
not if you're Catholic.
I think age-wise we're allowed. I'm pretty sure they're going to add that as an amendment. Anyway, so yeah, I mean it's very flowy stuff. Like it's pretty flowery. That's the word I want.
Right.
It's very poetic.
Yeah. The poem was poetic. Thanks. So
I'm here all day. I mean,
Oh,
I'm basically Scott Hahn.
so
It's
glad.
like unbelievable. I'm Tim Staples.
Right. So I was thinking about this because I was reading a Bible study the other day from Rick Warren, one of those good Protestant pastors, right?
It's a good one so far.
He was pointing out that like the actual quote, like Matt Maher changed it to like set me as a seal on your heart, set me as a seal on your soul. But like the quote throughout the Old Testament actually appears a couple of times is set me as a seal on your heart, which is the first one, that's correct, and set me as a seal on your arm, which like I've read and I've remembered and I've heard that. I'm like, that's
Not as romantic.
interesting. Like it's not as romantic, but it's the real thing, right? So there has to be something to that.
Right.
And like, so they would essentially have God's word, like, we hear it all the time. It was written on their heart, but they would also have it on their arm. Like they would like either physically, they would put like
a
words
tattoo?
of the scripture. No, well, like words of the scriptures, like they would like wrap it around their arm. Right.
Oh, got it. Got it.
Or it would be written there or that sort of thing. Right. To where like it was on their heart and it was on their arm. And it was talking about like Rick Warren was making this connection between like our spiritual life. It's like, yeah, like the heart is our love for God. Like that's where we connect with God is his love is written on our heart. That's how we respond to him. But the arm is action. Like that's the word of God coming outside of you and being an action towards other people. And I thought that was a really cool connection.
That's a very cool connection. Well, because what do we say all the time? I know you've done the similar work that I've done in the past, like with youth and young
But
adults.
better.
And
Yep.
please, you're so cute and young. Anyway, but all the time you'll see these young people come in relationships and they're so wrapped up in what people have said to them, right? And it's like, but what are the actions? Are these people matching the actions of what they're telling you, And it's really hard to differentiate in love. Like people say a lot of stuff, Taylor, and if their actions are not backing up what they're saying, that's a problem. And so I think obviously right there, you see the Old Testament's also going, hey guys, listen, you can say all the flowery words you want, but until you tattoo it on your arm, no, but it's a big deal. You're right. Like action is a big deal. And especially in marital love, it's not just what you say to each other. I'm sure you and Sam have been at this for a little while, but there's a lot of actions that come up with being married.
Careful. Careful. Okay.
For the love of everything. I'm saying life comes at you and you've got to, you're in this together. Like you're not cute kids anymore. You've made kids and like you've got a mortgage and you've got, there's a lot of stuff that happens, in-laws and holidays. So it's not just adorable that you're sitting on a piano singing to her every day. Like this is now the time. No, you're showing up every day as the husband and the father and the whatever, and she's doing the same. So yeah, I'm all for
our
it.
romance is me paying the mortgage. That's
It's very romantic. Someone pays for her AC bill.
So the other reason that, like, this is it's weird. Like, I will like pause doing a Bible study. I've talked about this on the show plenty of times, where like things get busy and I stop doing my daily Bible study. And then I get back into it, 3, 7, 48 days later. And I like that the one that I hop into that day is almost always perfect for that day.
Huh.
So I'm reading this the day after we had the Forte Catholic board meeting, the powerful board of me, Father Anthony, and Allison Sullivan. We had a meeting. And
your two favorites,
yeah,
me
exactly,
and John, were just chopped liver.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the bench. You could be called up at any time, but
I'm like 12th man. Is that what I'm an honorary Aggie?
No, yeah, we don't even have 12 people. I wish.
I love it.
But you're still the 12th man. I'll put it that way.
Perfect. That's hilarious. I love it.
But Father Anthony, I finished talking and like sharing with them, like as the president, like here's all the things that we've telling the board, like what you're supposed to do. Here's what we've been doing. Here's what we've accomplished in the last year. Here's some issues that have been happening. Here's how we're trying to solve them. Here's the plan for the next 6 months to a year, right? And then they were both like, "Oh, that's great. Like things are going well." I've shared about it on the show. Things are going really well. And then Father Anthony called me out and he's like, "Yes, Taylor, but what about your spiritual life?" And I was like, "I don't know if you've heard, but I've been busy doing all of these things, And he's like, "Right, but how's your prayer life?" And I was like, "But everything's going well." And he's like, "Right, but how about your prayer life?"
Good for him.
And this is the next part, like literally the day after, like I started doing the Rick Warren Bible study again because he yelled at me, and it's about the whole Bible study is about doing actions and not praying. Like this is
how
like,
funny.
It's crazy. Here's what Rick Warren says. 2 things. We can live with talking about like God's word written on our heart and on our arm. That's the love for God, love for neighbor, and then our actions, right? We can live without an arm. You could come over and chop my arm off and I could still live. It would suck, but I would live. But if you came over and cut out my heart, which is what doing the show feels like with you most of the time, like I couldn't live, right? So I like essentially saying like we can live without the actions for a while, but we can't live without the heart. We can't live without that prayer. And then so I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go back. I've been working through the book Soul of the Apostolate, which is all about praying if you're in ministry and not. I hate that book. It's so boring and repetitive. But Father Anthony yelled at me and I read this Rick Warren thing. So I was like, okay, I'll go read it. Here's what the Soul of the Apostolate says. And thus we ought sometimes to seek a little respite from our outward works, but never, on the other hand, relax our attention to spiritual things. So in 24 hours, I'm just being punched in the face with this crap over and over again.
You can't hide. It's like your guardian angel went around and gave everybody a slip of paper to read to you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, everybody's working against me / for me. Father Anthony, Allison, Rick Warren, the scriptures, Soul of the Apostolate.
So funny.
It's all working against me.
I love it.
So it kind of closed with this quote, and it said, like, what do you care more about? Do you care more about the works of God or the God of works? And I was just like, oh my gosh, right? Because it's like, oh God, I'm doing this with you, or I'm doing this for you, right? And he's like, I just want to be with you, right? The God of works. I thought of the God of wonders beyond our galaxy. All the old people in the audience are like, oh yeah, I remember that song from the 90s. Like that was like our oceans,
our
right?
anthem. Yes, that's exactly right. I was gonna say that's so funny. That's so funny. I love it. That's hilarious.
So Liv, I bring this all up to say,
how's
your prayer life? Yeah,
I knew it. I love that I always get called out publicly. You get to have these moments privately. And
well, I called myself out publicly. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, you're like, Liv doesn't have any secrets. She'll go ahead and talk about anything. How's my prayer life? I mean, I think that's a very fair question. I'm supposed to start a journal, Taylor. And this is the last thing that my spiritual director told me to do. And I'm not a journal kind of a gal. But I'm also reading Soul of the Apostolate. How crazy is that? And by that, I mean Nathan reads to me out loud. Every night he takes...
Audible exists. Like, he doesn't have to do that. He could pay $12 and have someone else read it to you.
Poor Nathan. He doesn't have hobbies. So this is raising me as a hobby.
Yeah. Raising Liv sounds like a TV show.
Raising Liv, dating Taylor, coming to on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically, that's basically exactly what this is. So yeah, I mean, so we're trying to do a little bit of spiritual reading and talking, and then we're doing this 9-month novena that you hate hearing about, but we are, and we do it with Kana every night, and I love it, and it's really made a difference. But I went on a retreat last week, so I kind of was a little bit of a bit more of a baller than I've been in a while, to be honest with you. I had some time to actually walk in nature and, like reflect. And I didn't make it to mass every day. The mass was at 7 a.m. And I was like, that's a no. But isn't that terrible? I'm a horrible person, but that's the truth.
My theory on that is that God exists at all times, and I can
Thank
encounter
you.
him at all times.
I was like, we don't even know if Jesus is awake. I was like, 7 a.m. is early. So, but that was cool, Taylor, because you and I are big retreat ministry people, and I haven't done that in a long time. So I feel pretty connected. It was nice. You think it's not that big of a deal to take out time to actually make a space to talk to God. Like, it's one thing to pray to him, like in your car and how we tell people, but I gotta be honest, it was really great. It was really nice. Even the drive there, I had like a 4-hour drive, and just to have the time to talk to him, uninterrupted time, man, you can't get better than that. You really can't. So as much as I like to think, I can squeeze him in here and squeeze him in there, when you're intentional, when you really have a really great block of time, it's a game changer. It really is. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I got to work that in. I'll tell Nathan when he's reading to me.
Taylor already read that part to me earlier on the show, so you can skip it. And
it takes a village, Taylor.
The next paragraph, because it's the same paragraph over and over again. That book drives me crazy, but I still feel called to freaking read it.
That's so funny that we're reading the same book.
Because I feel like even though it's repetitive, I need to hear it every time I read the same paragraph over and over again.
Maybe that's why they're repeating it. Yep.
So to close, again, the works of God are so important. I've built my life around the works of God, but the God of works is more important. We can live without one. We can't live without the other. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Grotto Network is a platform that is sharing really cool stories for all people, whether you're a regular daily mass goer, just on Sundays, or you're fallen away Catholic. There's something for everybody. The thing I really love about the Grotto Network is that they're tackling a lot of topics that people are kind of nervous to, whether it's infertility or dating and having troubles dating, especially as a young adult, eating disorders, people questioning their faith and what to do about that. I love what the Grotto Network is doing. I've been supporting them for a lot longer than since they just started the ads. They're doing some great work over there out of the University of Notre Dame. Their Instagram account is the best way to connect with them. So follow Grotto Network on Instagram at Grotto, Grotto Network, and share it with your friends. They're doing some really cool stuff. They're really kind of on the edge of a lot of things, and I really love what they're doing, and I know you guys will too. So again, Grotto Network on Instagram. Follow them today.
Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Stroll, and that is Olivia Harrison, which I'm not sure if I would like that 3-year-old Olivia that we talked about earlier in the show, or if I would like this one. But honestly, for this game, Liv, we have a brand new game that I'm introducing with
excited.
You. So that could either tell
it's like being a board member.
It could tell this. I could be saying one of two things. Either I trust in this game idea enough to use it with you the first time, or I'm not quite sure about the idea, and we might scrap it and never do it again, and I'll blame it on you. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with B. Door number 2, Alex.
Door number 2. So behind door number 2 is this new game that I came up with. I thought I was going to start it with Father Anthony, but I thought it would be funnier to start it with you. I'm still workshopping it. So I want you to help me decide. I want the listeners to help me decide what we should call this game. There are 2 options. This game can either be called Punishment Fits the Crime. That's option A.
I like that one.
Or Cruel and Unusual Punishment. Okay.
I like the first one.
Well, let me explain the game. You've heard what the game is. Nobody else.
Yeah, but even before the game, I still like that one better.
You don't know the game. It has to describe the game. Let me explain the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to take turns being the person in confession and the priest hearing confession. And what it's going to be is we're going to give scenarios of something that somebody would say to the priest that are like weird things that they would confess, right? Not your typical like, oh, I was prideful, I was lustful, I was greedy, like not those typical things, like kind of weirder ones, right? Like priests can't talk about what they specifics about what they hear in confession, but we've all heard some kind of roundabout, like there's some weird stuff said in there, right? So we're going to take turns giving each other situations where they confess something, and then the other person is going to give out the penance. So it can either be the punishment, the penance fits the crime, or that it's as cruel and as unusual as the sin confessed is cruel or unusual. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, have you ever like been in had a weird confession thing?
A weird confession? No, I did. Okay, this is the year you were born, but there was a time when the year 2000 was very scary. Yeah, but I'm trying to make a joke. The year 2000, I know you didn't know this, you were a zygote, but like we all thought the world was going to end. You let that one go. We all thought the world was going to end.
I'm not sure that's the thing.
It's fine.
Keep going.
Let it go, Taylor. So 2000 was scary. You know, like I even had friends whose dads were like on the thing about the computers, like because the computers were all going to go set to zero and like
we all know
all
you're
this
old.
kind
Tell
of
your
stuff.
confession
Y2K. Well, because a group of us in college, it was Y2K, we decided we got to go to confession because we're all going to die tomorrow.
Nice. That's a good thought.
We were like, we're not going to make it past midnight. We should go to confession. And I'm not kidding. I just decided, fine, I'm going to put it all out there, right? I'm going to die in about 3 hours anyway, whenever it hits midnight. And I put all the things out. I've never in my life had a priest laugh at me so hard in or out of confession. Like,
not to your face at least.
Exactly. And like when I came out of the confessional, everyone was like, what did you say? Like, and I was like, I can't tell y'all, but then I felt really bad. And I was like, if I die tonight because of Y2K, I think I'm screwed because I don't think that counted because I made the priest laugh at everything I told him. So, you know, but good thing it didn't end. We're still here. It's 2021. So.
Unfortunately.
But I did. I made a priest laugh. I made him laugh in confession. I don't know. It was pretty bad. But anyway, there you go.
Just because what you were saying was silly that you thought you were going to die?
I mean, listen, it was pretty juicy stuff. And I'll tell you off camera. How about that?
Oh, I read Cosmopolitan because I'm a young woman.
No, it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was even crazy for me. And he was just like, wait, no way. And I was like, yeah, for real. And then I told him the story and he was like, stop. And he just started laughing hysterically. But yeah, it was real stuff though.
I doubt that priest is still a priest if he's laughing at sins in your confessional.
Actually, he is. He's still a priest. He's a pastor around where I live now. So there you go. Ooh. He was a baby priest at the time, but now he's a pastor. So, I mean, he made it. He's fine. Okay. He probably forgot.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
But I made him laugh at Y2K. Listen, it might have just been the day, right? I mean, everybody was pretty on. We were all scared. It was a scary time. Scary time. Anyway.
Okay, speaking of scary times, I'm going to try this game out with you.
Let's do it.
I'm going to go. I'm going to be the penitent first. You're going to be the priest. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
My first sin is forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been about 2 months since my last confession. During that time, I slapped my co-host for interrupting me. For these and all my sins, I'm heartily sorry.
Is that true? Can I ask questions? I'm a terrible priest.
You know it's not true because this is a game that we're playing.
No, okay.
You not understand that I slapped Liv Harrison, my co-host, for interrupting me on the podcast.
Your punishment is that you
I don't think the priests go, your punishment.
Oh, that's true. See, I'm already failing as a priest.
Your punishment is hell.
Your punishment is... I feel like I'm in a Monty Python movie. Your penance is... I want to do it in an accent. Okay. Your penance is you must now go to the mirror in your house that shows the most of your body, and you must stand in humiliation and hit yourself in 3 different places while saying, I love my co-host. That's your penance.
This is sick. You're not going to make it as a priest either. That's terrifying.
Well, I mean, you said it had to be weird.
I mean, I didn't know if it needed to be illegal. That's straight. That sounds like something out of like a cult, like Catholic movie that Catholics boycott.
Exactly. I was trying to make it exactly. There's people with posters outside my house right now.
Okay,
They're
we're
like,
gonna get out of that one. You give one to
for
me.
the
Here
love.
we go.
Okay. All right.
What's your first one?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I spent 24 hours speaking in a British accent, telling everyone that I was actually an exchange student, and I'm not.
Well, your lying is a big deal, and we know that you have lied and deceived these people, and trust has been broken. So what I would like for you to do is to go to all of these people and speak normally in your normal voice until they realize that you're a liar, and then apologize in your humiliation.
Good gracious. That's like a 12-step program. Like you have to like go and make amends with everybody.
Also,
That's
2 Hail
intense.
Marys and 1 Our Father.
Just to make and read the soul of the apostle.
Yeah, oh God, that's the worst.
Backwards.
All right, here's the next one. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a minute and a half since my last fake confession. I yelled at my kids for yelling too much.
Wait, I thought we were doing pretend ones.
Well, maybe.
Just kidding.
Not. Maybe I just want some ideas.
Now you have to write each child a letter telling them how their voice is a gift from the Lord and how they can praise Jesus with their voice. And you're going to sing it to them. And then 2 Hail Marys, 1 Our Father.
You know that only one of my kids is literate, right? I'm writing letters to people who can't read
We will have
them.
Nathan. Nathan will read the other letters.
Nathan
to
has
your
to do
children.
my penance.
Yes. Nathan apparently is everyone's class
To
reader.
be fair, he's been doing penance for you for years anyway.
I mean, he has to die, and then I can only last maybe 60 seconds without this man. I can't live without him.
gone
He
in
has to
60
die.
seconds.
I can't. Exactly. But he has to get up there first, Taylor, and vouch for me. He has to be like, yeah, I know her. Because we both know I don't have a shot. I can't get in there without him. So
him and your guardian angel are arguing. Your guardian angel's like, no, I don't think she
My guardian
belongs up
angel's-
here.
listen,
Nathan's
is
like,
tired.
come on,
My guardian
come on.
angel's gonna have a cigar and like whiskey when I get to be exhausted.
All right.
Okay, you ready for my next fake sin, or do you want to tell me your next fake sin?
Whose turn is it, Olivia?
Mine. Okay. Forgive me, Father. It has been 2 minutes since my last confession, and I told my mom that I loved this casserole that she made because I felt really bad, and now she makes it for me every birthday, and I hate it, and it makes me think not nice thoughts about my mother.
Well, ma'am, this is not a sin. That's called kindness. You don't need to apologize for that. This is part of being a son or a daughter.
kid.
This is part of being a child of parents, is that you have to say that you enjoy things when you really don't. These are called white lies, and they're actually, I forget which A it was. I think it was Aquinas that said that we can't lie, but I'm disagreeing with him because you made
getting
your
a free pass?
casserole and you have to eat it. You've made your own casserole, now deal with it.
Good advice. I'm really helping me now.
Happy birthday, by the way. Enjoy the casserole. Go to McDonald's on the way home.
Exactly. Stuffing in a napkin like everybody else, like kids have been doing since 1912.
Have you ever been in, like, for real, have you ever been in a confession where the priest said, like, that's not a sin?
Oh, yes. Have you?
I
I have.
In both cases. 2 different cases. One where
The 2 times you went to confession?
No, 2 different scenarios where the priest said this wasn't a sin. One time it wasn't a sin and he was right. The other time it was a very serious sin and he screwed me up for a very long time.
I've had that happen as well. I have had that happen as well. I have a funny penance story. Do you want to hear that yet?
No,
Or no?
I want to keep playing this game that I invented.
Okay, let's keep playing the game then.
Okay.
I want to play the game. All right, I'm ready for your next sin.
Okay. This is a sin. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. This is a sin from a long time ago, and I know I've been to confession, but it's been bothering me for a long time. When I was in high school, I had trouble paying attention to mass, like many other high school students. But the thing that I learned, you know how like when you yawn, other people will yawn if they're looking at you. Well, I realized that the girl that I had a crush on, I could see if she was looking at me as much as I was looking at her by yawning a bunch of times and seeing if she yawned. Because if she did, that meant she also was looking at me. And if she didn't, then she wasn't, and I knew that I could move on. And I did this for about 4 or 5 months, and she yawned maybe once, and I think it was an accident. But I was just very distracted in mass because I was doing this. For these and all of my very real sin stories, I am sorry.
Are you married?
I am now.
Are you
yes,
married?
yes, yes.
You are now.
ma'am
Okay, I was going to have
/sir,
you
because
marry
you're a
her because that
priest.
felt like a good Jewish. That felt like a good Jewish law. Like you have to find her and make her your wife. But we're gonna skip that law. We're gonna
Yeah, this
jump
is
over
getting
that
really
one.
confusing because you're a
You're
Catholic
penance.
priest. It's a good
Your
Jewish law.
penance.
It's like, okay, Father, what does that mean for me?
Your penance is to go to your wife every day and yawn in front of her to see if she yawns back, and make her a cup of coffee while saying 2 Hail Marys and 1 Our Father.
Let's be real. My wife and I both yawn at each other every time we see each other because we're exhausted from raising these darn kids.
No, it's your thing. That's how you guys. That's romance now. Romance for you now is yawning at each other.
You're so hot. Yawn.
It's hot in your house. The spark is alive.
Yeah. That's a very real story. I definitely did that when I was in junior high and high school multiple times. She didn't yawn
That's
back as
actually
much as
kind
I.
of genius
I'm
that you thought.
Very smart. I was a
You
loser, but
are.
I'm very smart.
You're very smart.
Thank you. Okay, last one.
Okay, last one. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I used my ATM card. We don't even have ATM cards anymore. It was a Pulse card back in the day. This is how old the story is.
You don't have to. Being old isn't a sin. As gross as it is, being old isn't a sin.
Allison Sullivan would know. I'm just kidding. I just want to not be the old. Actually, she is older.
Ma'am, please focus.
maybe.
This is confession.
Okay, sorry. And even though I knew that I didn't have any money, I would continue to use my Pulse card because cash would continue to come out of the ATM machine. So there you go.
Your penance, you've already done. It's called overdraft fees. They've been docked already. You've already done your penance.
I didn't pay them. My father paid them.
Stop being stupid. Apologize to your father and marry a rich husband so that this never happens again.
I'll write that down. Good point, Father. That's good advice.
I think the game went well, despite you. I think it really did. I like this game a lot.
Despite you, I feel like you need to confess that now.
No. That's too close to my first confession. Yeah. I slapped her. I yelled at her. Whatever.
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, that was cute. Man, penance is kind of hard, even when you're trying to be funny. Like, sometimes you think,
you were trying to be funny? I don't know if anybody noticed.
Oh, stop it. But yeah, that's kind of hard. And it is true. Like what you think is a sin and what isn't a sin. There's been many times I went in there and I'm like, look, I'm not really sure. This might work out. You let me know. So anyway, I do have
yeah, go ahead.
I have a really interesting penance story. This is a true story, but this is about Nathan, my husband. We were living in Round Rock at the time, so we were 22. He worked for Dell Computers. I was a kindergarten teacher. That should make everyone pause for one moment.
Oh man,
that's
I didn't
scary.
know that, and yeah, it's terrifying.
Yep. I taught people's children. And anyway, so he went to confession way down south. He was like doing something for Dell that day. And the priest told him, okay, your penance is you have to go buy this book. He gave him a specific book and said, you have to read it in its entirety. Well, he was young and whatever. And by the time he made it all the way to Round Rock, which is North Austin.
Teaching kindergartners.
I mean, come on. It wasn't geography. It was colors. Okay. So anyway, by the time he made it to Round Rock, it was like 40 minutes. And he thought of like more sins. So he pulled into our church, which we went to St. William's in Round Rock. And he went into confession, which you don't have to do, by the way, because he had already gone to confession. But, he was young. And no kidding. The priest looked at him and said, okay, so I need you to go buy this specific book. Same book. The guy told him the same book to go get. And it was like something really obscure. It wasn't like Soul the Apostle. It wasn't like, Story of a Soul by St. Therese. It wasn't like a normal known book or anything like that. And so Nathan was like, okay, that's crazy. 2 different priests, 40 minutes away from each other. And
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
It was Harry Potter. It was the first Twilight. It was the first Hunger Games. Yeah. So Nathan was on the ground floor with that whole thing. But isn't that weird? That's a pretty crazy story.
Here's my biggest.
Unless they had a convention.
The most important follow-up question. It was. I mean, it had to be one of the priest's books, and the other guy was his friend. Like he was just trying to sell it.
It wasn't.
The big question
I'll have to ask him.
Olivia, did you read the book to him?
Me? We know I can't read.
Teaching
That's why I taught kindergarten.
Yeah, exactly.
They just thought I was a tall 5-year-old that could reach the Play-Doh. I don't think one of them knew I was their teacher.
It's okay. My daughters will both read the letters that I write as apology letters to them to you. So this was fun. I like this game. Y'all let me know.
Cute. Let me
know if y'all liked the game.
I liked it.
Punishment fits the crime, cruel and unusual, whatever we're gonna call it. I had a blast. Liv, you didn't suck. I'm very proud of you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I know that a lot of you guys probably shop on Amazon because you live in the 21st century and everyone does. Did you know that there's a way that you can financially support Forte Catholic by just purchasing your normal orders on Amazon? There's this program that they have called Amazon Smile, where Amazon donates to the nonprofit of your choice for every purchase that you make. All you have to do is set it up one time. The link is down in the description. Whether you're watching on YouTube or in the podcast, I'm putting the link down there in the description, so you can just scroll down, and that is our link. You click it one time, and then all of your purchases for the next year, Amazon will donate to us directly. You're not donating extra. You're not having to pay extra. This is Amazon and part of their charitable arm, giving back to the nonprofits and giving back to the community. So sign up to support Forte Catholic on Amazon Smile today. Again, that link is down in the description in the show notes. Thank you guys so much. It's a great way to help us financially by just doing what you're already doing with one extra click. Thank you guys so much. Amazon Smile, support Forte Catholic today.
Welcome back to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Stroll. That is Olivia Harrison. And this is the second episode that I'm recording in 24 hours. So those regular listeners know that when I run out of things to say, we go to our friendly Poddecks.
I like Poddecks. I'm excited.
It's funny because it is always just like, for me, I've said it before, like, it's really hard to come up with like 6 topics. It's hard enough to come up with 3 topics per week to record the show. But like, just because like you're going out of town and I was sick last week, so I couldn't record. So we had to jam 2 recordings into 24 hours. So I recorded last week's episode with John yesterday, recording next week's episode with you today, which is currently the current episode. It's all very confusing.
We don't know where we are. I'm in New York by the time this already airs. We don't even know anything. It's all confusing.
But what's funny is like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like it is just kind of a filler segment, but people love it.
I love
because it gets me unprepared.
Yeah,
You're
it's out of the box
unprepared.
for you.
People,
I like it. I like
people
it.
are used to you being unprepared, but not for me. So this first question is going to be, I think it'll be funny. I'm not sure if I know the answer. Maybe I do if I thought about it.
Okay.
But answer it for yourself, and then we might be able to answer it for the other person. What words or phrases do you most overuse?
Oh, gosh.
What words or phrases do you most overuse?
I think, do you want me to answer first, or you answer what I say? What are we doing?
Do you know one for you?
I say the same stuff all the time. Constantly. And then people pick up what I say and they say it all the time. They're like, oh, I'm talking like you because I hung out with you. Like I'm that person in people's groups, social groups. I'm the one that like they'll pick up what I say because I do. I repeat the same phrases constantly. So it depends on
clue us in on any of those.
Yeah, I mean, one I used to say all the time. I used to say for the love constantly. Oh, for the love. For the love. I used to say it all the time. I used to say, I'm so here for this. I am so here for this. Like I say that all the time. I say, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I say it constantly. Like I say stuff all the time. It just depends on where I'm at in my life. But yeah, what about you? Or do you think of something I can say? I don't know.
What did I yell at you about last week for you saying too much?
I apologize all the time.
You say
apologize.
Sorry or I'm sorry for things that you shouldn't be sorry for.
But
Saying
that's a trauma
is a
response. Thing. Yeah, that's something else. That's a little deeper than you want to go. But yeah, I apologize constantly.
But you need to stop. I mean, talk to your therapist about it, but it's annoying me that for you. It's annoying me for you because you need to stop. You're apologizing for like little things.
Yeah.
I was like you bought us like $180 worth of Mexican food for 4 people,
and I apologized.
And you apologized. I was like, why? I just ate I ate like a king. I think I might have eaten an entire king. Like,
because you and I didn't have a bear together. And I was going to get you a beer.
So
and I was like, I'm so sorry. And you were like, Liv, I was eating queso for 4 hours. Like, I didn't have time for a beer. I'm just kidding. We didn't eat that much.
I was like,
queso.
the only thing that you should be apologizing for tonight is apologizing 98 times.
And I do it all the time to Taylor. I'm like, I'm sorry that I said sorry. Ooh, sorry. Like I do. I apologize all the time.
The phrase or the thing, it's not necessarily a specific word or phrase. I guess it is. But when the thing that I hate most about that I say is when I make a joke, whether it's in a talk or whether it's on the show, or I say something that I think is funny, while you're laughing, I'm saying, and like I'm stuck, like I'm going over my own joke while you're laughing, and then hopefully the listeners are laughing, and I'm over here like, duh.
That's hilarious.
It drives me crazy.
Do you make an actual sound? Or is that just inside? You do?
I'll say like, oh, Liv is so silly looking. And then everybody's laughing. And I'm like, oh. And I'll stutter. It drives me crazy. I'm like, Taylor, really say a joke and shut up.
That's really funny.
What do you think?
I say, I didn't know you did that. And I had no idea you did that. I'm going to listen for that now. I had no clue. I always say,
Liv.
What?
Liv?
Can you hear me? What? Hello?
You can't hear me?
Yes! Can you hear me?
Hello?
I said hello. I'm saying hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Say something?
Hello? Test. Check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check. Hello.
Oh, there we go. That was weird.
I was like, I kept answering. I was like, what? I didn't know. I thought we were playing a game.
No, I couldn't hear you.
You never stopped on my end. So I was so confused. I was like,
it must have been my AirPods disconnected.
No, that's fine. That's so funny though. Cause I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. It's like, I thought you were doing something wrong too. Okay.
I'm sorry, Tayller.
Yeah. No, it actually is your fault. Apologize for my mistake. Okay. Let's get back into it. So,
you want to pick it up from the saying, what?
Like, what is the word or phrase that you think I say the most? Go ahead.
You say all the time?
Yep.
That's dumb. You say that's dumb all the time. You're like, that's dumb.
Do I really?
Yeah, you do. You do.
That might just be with you.
It might be. That's dumb. You're dumb. Your mom's dumb. I don't know. It's always like dumb. Yeah. You'll even.
I don't think I say that a lot, so it might just be with you.
That's really funny. See, now that would be funny to play. Have everybody in your life, like your tight circle, and see what they all come up with, because it could be really different.
You wouldn't be in it because my tight circle is Father Anthony and Allison. Okay, here we go. Next question.
He doesn't mean it, everyone.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one either.
Is that me? Is it me?
I don't like that one either. I don't like that one either. What talent would you most like to have?
Oh, we all know this one. Singing. I'm very, very, very bitter about it. I want to be on a Broadway stage as a Broadway star. Everyone knows that. Period. We will be having a sit down, Jesus and I, if Nathan gets me in, and I will sit down and be like, how would that have hurt the kingdom? Like, I don't understand. I feel like it could have helped the kingdom, but apparently he disagrees. That would be my talent. What about you? Specifically Broadway. Yeah.
We've talked about like you don't have a Broadway voice.
I don't.
You talked about I think it was when I came on your show. We talked about you have a nice voice. Like you have like the voice that I've heard you sing before, and it's like what it reminded me of is like a mom singing to her kids.
Yeah,
like not like a sweet, quiet, soft voice, but pretty. You have a good voice.
You're very nice.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
am.
That's
Very
very
nice.
kind.
You're welcome. For me, I
You're like, I'm
guess
so talented.
I mean, I have all the talents. Like, I think
You
for
do.
me,
What about
I think
drawing?
for
Art?
I don't care.
You don't
I don't
care.
care.
Okay, all right. I don't know.
Writing my name legibly. Maybe
Yeah,
that's a good one. The talent I wish I had, I guess,
You're
would
pretty
be.
talented.
I know.
You
It's a
really
curse.
are. You
It's a curse.
stink.
I think. Here's the thing. I wish I was more talented at making money for the things that I'm talented at. Because I'm broke and good at everything.
You should have married Nathan.
Well, it wasn't an option. I wasn't born by the time y'all got married.
We'll put you in our will to our
Thank you.
our third child, Taylor.
I'm not sure. I think this recording works as a legal document.
Does it?
I think so.
Poor Zoom.
What do you value the most in friends?
Oh, and friends. I mean, this is gonna sound completely lame, but just because I've been so hurt, honesty. Just be real. Like, I just really need real, authentic, and that's all I'm left with right now in my life. I have a very small circle of people in my life, and that's intentional. And they are people who are very honest and who I can be very honest and real with. That's it. I just be real, be authentic, period. And we can really build from there. What about you?
For me, I've learned this over the last couple of years. For me, it's consistency. Because there are people in my life where, like, I'm gonna be me no matter what. You know,
Yeah.
like I am who I am. I'm
Right.
a good person. I'm a bad person. I'm a mix of being nice and being cutting and sarcastic and witty, and like that's who I am.
Yeah.
Right. So there are some times where people, like, it drives me crazy when people like that about me sometimes and then hate it about me at other times.
Right, that's not cool. It's like,
right.
don't do that. This is what it was a year ago. This is what, yeah, I agree with you.
I am who I am. So it's
Right.
like people that are consistent that will, like, that, I mean, like, people, like, my friends could call me out and be like, that might have been too far
Sure.
or whatever. Like, that's fine. But it's like when people, like, I'll make a same or similar joke and somebody be offended one day and laugh and then
Yeah.
laugh at it the next. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And then it just feels like I'm walking on eggshells. So consistency is very, very important.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Being level
It's a
headed.
good one. Good one.
Let's see. Which living person do you most despise?
I plead the fifth. I will plead the fifth on that, but I definitely have a living person in my head. Do you?
I know yours. I'm trying to think of
I know
mine.
you do. I know you know mine.
My list is long.
My list is getting long.
Yeah.
I used to have no one on my list till, not that long ago. But yeah, it's getting lengthy now, but it's not as long as yours.
I know mine.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody that hurt somebody close to me
Okay.
is mine. And the other person is me.
Let's clear this up for everybody listening. Taylor and I are not on either list for each other, and I think that might surprise the listeners.
Right.
They might be like,
well, to be fair,
prove it.
when I despise myself is when I'm putting up with you.
All right, I'll allow that one to go. I'll keep your rep. I'll keep your bad boy rep. You're so tough. That was a good one, though.
What will people look back at us 50 years from now and be shocked and appalled by?
Shocked and appalled? You and I are so honest and real. Like, I mean, geez.
Maybe you're thinking personal. I'm thinking like societal. I'm thinking societal. So, like,
okay, you go
one
first.
thing that I hope. This is a hope.
Okay,
and we all know how good Taylor is at hope. Hope isn't one of the things that I'm great at,
and I'm bad
but
at
like,
it.
I maybe not 50 years, but I hope 50, 100, 150 years we look back on abortion like we did slavery.
Okay,
that is a hope.
Okay.
If we're being real honest, I think one of the reasons it won't happen in 50 years is because of how harsh and critical and mean-spirited the pro-life movement has become recently.
Sure.
But I still have hope because, like, I mean, murder, it's bad. It's not, abortion's not a good thing. And I hope that in the future we look back on it like we look at slavery.
I think that's a really good one. I think that's actually brilliant. I would have to say, I think in 50 years, we're going to have a really full picture of human trafficking. I don't think we have a clue of what what a massive, massive thing that is in this country, especially where you and I live. You know, Houston's supposed to be like the hub, you know, because we're right on a port. Apparently, we're like #1 in the world. It's something insane. Like the numbers are crazy. So I think in 50 years, we'll look back and be like, how did you guys let that happen? Kind of same in the same vein as you, like, it happened on your watch. You know what I mean? We're here right now. So I think human trafficking will be something that we'll look back and be like, wow, I had no idea. I didn't know it was that, you know, and it like that big of a thing. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that got deep.
It did.
Man.
If you could ask Poddecks.
Poddeck.
Apologize.
I'm sorry. Okay.
If you could ask one person and they had to answer truthfully,
Yeah.
Who would you ask and what would you ask?
Do you have yours? Did something pop up for you? Oh, gosh,
I would ask my wife
Okay.
if she had another date to that Sadie Hawkins ball before I showed up.
I'm totally going to find that out for you. I'm going to be your wingman and I'm going to find that out. I'm going to find that out. I would ask Taylor Schroll if he really hates me as much as he pretends when we tape a show. That's what I really want to know. That's
I mean, the truth hurts. I think you want to reconsider that. I think you want to reconsider that. I don't think you'll like
I can take it. I told you I want honesty from my friends, Taylor.
Do you, though? Again, it's something that you said that you might want to take back. You know, you can push things to the fullest extent, and you might not like the answer, what it leads to.
That's true. Oh, my God.
All right, last one.
All right, last one. All right.
If you were to die tomorrow, which I mean is a possibility for you, old woman.
Everybody.
If you were to die tomorrow, what little thing would you regret not doing?
I would regret like a little thing, right? So we don't have to be really deep on this. I would regret not auditioning for Saturday Night Live, Second City. I think that would always be in the back of my head. I'm supposed to go do stand-up in New York, and I'm really scared to do it. And I think I would regret if I never did. We'll see if I do it.
There is. It's a little thing. I was about to make fun of you. And I thought about it because I just saw that the new cast was announced. They got rid of 2 or 3 people. They announced
did they?
2 or 3 more yesterday or today. I forget. I was about to make fun of you because like most people that go on to SNL are in their 20s. Like you missed your shot, right?
The mark. There's some oldies in there.
There is a lady. I forget her name right now, but there's a lady on the show now who got on it a few years ago, and if I believe she's in her mid-40s. Like she just got started.
Absolutely.
She's kind of a late bloomer, which we all know that you're a late bloomer in almost every aspect of your life.
Every aspect of my life.
So I'm not going to make fun of you.
Oh,
we're going to end
Taylor.
the show by me not making fun of you, and then I'll answer mine. The one little thing, I think it goes back to our first segment where we're talking about prayer. I honestly think that if I died tomorrow, the thing that I would regret the most is not focusing on my spiritual life as much as I do the active life.
You picked such a good answer, Taylor.
I did.
You did.
It's just been on my heart so much, and like I think
you.
most of the time it would be kind of a tried answer, but because I like what I've been going through this last week or so, and like what I shared about in that first segment. Because I have been better. Like a lot of the things that I want to give it, I wanted to spend more time with family. Working at home, I spend a lot more time with my family. Family life is great. Relationships are great.
Good.
The show is doing well. Like even like physically, like it drops on and off, but like I've been taking care of myself, going to the gym more this last year and a half than I did the previous year and a half. You know, it's like things are going well. Like the one thing that I wanted to improve has improved, but I want to improve it more. To shift that focus more from the active life to a little bit more the spiritual life, the contemplative life. So that's mine.
Look at you growing up. We're all so proud of everybody. Throw up hearts for Taylor Schroll. That was awesome.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if it lasts. Y'all pray for me that I'll be able to pray for real. That's it for today, Liv. It was a good show. I'm actually happy. If you asked truthfully how I felt about today's show, I'd actually be happy because I've beaten you into submission verbally enough that you're actually getting pretty good at this 3 years in. I'm so proud of you.
I'm just in fear.
Good. It's working. It's
It's
working.
working. It's working.
I'll be back next week. Say it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for today's podcast. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, and like you're still here, so you must have enjoyed something, my challenge for you at the end of today's episode is to share it with somebody that you think that is a Catholic that would enjoy faith and entertainment. Somebody who's not Catholic that you think this might be a good like opening a door to just having a good experience with Catholicism. Sharing it on social media, texting it to them directly. Whether you're listening on podcasts or YouTube, there's a little share button right here on the episode, and I'm literally talking to you about it right now. You can find it as I'm saying this. Hit the share button. Share it to your Instagram, your Twitter, your MySpace, your Facebook, or just text it to a friend. This show primarily grows through word of mouth, so that would be a huge help to us, and we'll get you 18 days out of purgatory for every share. Though that number can increase if you have more followers than the average person. Thank you guys so much, and I will be back next week.